It's your eminence, Sam the Dingus. This is going to start pretty scatterbrained, probably, but I do have some really solid ideas in here and I want to work my way through them. It's been a while since I did just like a talking philosophy video, but today was a really big day for me in my parkour journey. And because of my breakthroughs in that, it's pushed my mind to some new places as well, and I want to share the growth. So today's talk is about fear. And I am going to be talking about parkour a lot because that's my specific example, and also this mousetrap. But I'm going to try to keep it open-ended so you can use this kind of theorem to apply to broader categories of life. So fear is just such an amazing thing because it has its reasons and its wrongs. It's a logical thing. You know, it starts as a very true survival instinct, but as you go farther and farther down, sometimes you find that fear is just something you believe in. It's like a mental block, but you can see over it, if that makes sense. Like if you're in the road and there's an obstacle there, you can still see past it, but you feel like you can't get past this one thing. For me, that was front flips off of this dugout that I always wanted to ever since I was a kid. I knew I would someday, and today's finally the day I did it. I haven't edited the video yet. I'll show you soon. It came down to, for one, what I'm talking about is like a specific practice related thing. And if you want to like stretch out my examples and take it to something else, like, I don't know, like public speaking or talking to a girl or boy or something. It's easy to be afraid of new things, and it's easy to be afraid of situations that are up in the air. If that makes sense. When you go around in your day-to-day life, you know, things are pretty flat and smooth until you decide to interact and act with something. That's when you face resistance and rewards. So let's just take like talking to a girl for an example right now. That is both psychological false fear, but it is also true logical fear. So the false fear part of it is like a fear of like social rejection, or maybe like not confidence in yourself, and all that stuff can be worked around and broken. But there's also the true level of fear far, far below, which is that if your eyes are looking out for a potential mate, obviously the animal instincts in us will be triggered. And I will say that that same feeling is kind of felt when you're, say, about to do a front flip off of a roof, because then there's that actual fear of, well, my legs could get hurt. But then it's also where it says, oh, I just can't do it. And that's perfect because that leads these two paths down the same stream here. You can't do difficult things without practicing. So if your intentions and your goal is to go through life perfectly as the star child and never get things wrong, that's probably why you're afraid. You have to understand that making true progress in your mind is about calculated risks and careful progression, whether it's front flips, girls, or something else. Now I will bring in the mousetrap. So this is a weird, specific example to me. And by the way, so YouTube discretionate bots and actual idiots out there like me, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Cool. So these are mousetraps. I think they're meant to be reusable. And ever since I touched it, I've been wanting to like play with it, kind of like, 'cause I feel tempted to touch it and like test out its power. And so here's how I broke through the fear of being able to put my fingers through a mousetrap. For one, these are really weak mousetraps, but this is perfect for the fear example. Like the front flip, like the girl. You don't know what the situation is. Your assumption, though, is that it's deadly. I assume that this mousetrap is going to crush my fingers because it's meant to kill an animal. Just like you could assume that fall is going to break your legs because it's about 8 feet. That's all possible. But when you come face to face with the true situation and you find your way to work through it, then you can understand that fear is not real. And you can do front flips off of buildings, and you probably can go talk to girls, but I'm not so sure because you're kind of a loser. And now this is like just a weird kind of example with the mousetrap here, because mousetraps should be deadly, and that's why I was initially afraid, but these metaphors tag perfectly together. And so I'm gonna use that mousetrap transition to now go back to the roof, but not just yet, actually, hold on. But remember that there was mental obstacles. There was literal barriers in my road. Like, I'm scared of this. I don't want to be anywhere near it. When I first got the trap, I didn't know how to trigger it even. So I just like didn't want to touch it because I thought it was going to snap down at any moment. And that's what the mind fear is. That's what corrupts your progress potential. But the real only way to hammer it home is to truly believe in what you're doing. Okay, because me, I'm just silly, and this is also just silly. This means nothing, right? There's also not a lot of risk in this mousetrap thing. And there's probably not a lot of risk if you're talking to someone you're interested in either. But today, me, I really was up on the roof, and there really was a chance that I could get injured. For me, I broke through the fear by practicing literally every single way possible, from as similar of heights as I could. You know, if this is the wall that I needed to today, I was practicing here, you know? So it's just that last gap I have to get through. And I train the strength of my body as well, so I know that I can handle repeated attempts. And a lot of things like that that can reassure the confidence in your mind, because it is one thing to prepare your body, and it is another thing to liquidate your mind so you can be ready to do what seems impossible. And after you've put in all the effort you can into preparation and practice and understanding and time and patience, some bless up in there, eventually there's going to be no more progression steps left. And you're going to be at the end of the road where you need to start saying words to the person. Or for me, there's nothing less I can do. I can't prepare any other way. I've finally made it to where I need to do the front flip. And then that's where you get the final realization of power. Because when I was up on that roof, I remembered, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. It's me. This is my very soul, my passion, my everything is channeling into this moment of focus. And not only that, this is something I wanted for my whole life. So the grand message from this video is not that fear isn't real, but if you want to, you can beat it. You just actually have to want to, you know? A lot of people are gonna... Oh, a parallel example is a stapler, okay? I might look cool with this mousetrap talking about how fearless I am, right? But if I take a stapler, I would be too scared to pop that through my hand. And I don't think I'm ever gonna overcome that fear because I have no passion to. It's just like an ADHD whim, okay? But for me, it was so worth it for the front flip. It just came down to accepting the consequences, okay? It's like, here's the worst things that can happen, and I've done everything I can to understand that. Is it worth it? If I try this and I break my leg, was it still worth it? If I try to talk to this person and they blow me away, if I staple my hand, is it worth it to face the consequences of failure? And if the answer is no, then I would say, maybe don't bother trying. You have to be willing to accept failure as part of the process. That's my greatest advice for overcoming fear here. And like I said, for me, when it came down to the front flip, it was about passion. This is something I wanted for years, and I always wanted to, and I finally feel like I'm learning, like I'm developing. Sometimes in life you don't know where to go, but when you really push through a difficult fog, it shows you so much of the light you possess. So I just wanted to take this moment to, you know, just share my bliss moments of euphoria here and let you know that I overcame lifelong fear today. Something I always wanted to get done, I did do, and it's given me such spiritual power as a result. I know I'm just still riding the afterglow. It's the same day that it happened. Maybe you can say in 4 weeks it'll have been all for nothing, but I can keep these little seeds, and sometimes it rains when you don't expect it, and you get a nice little sprout from your hard work in seasons prior. That's what it's all about, setting yourself up to love life. And for me, that's just doing flips, and I'm achieving my dreams, which, I don't know, life is kind of weird sometimes. It's a struggle. Like, sometimes you feel like you're not making progress. You're just running the circuit, you know? You're just still following the same routine. But for me, because I have a passionate outlet, an art outlet, somewhere I can develop and grow, for me, it doesn't feel like I'm just moving through life, you know? I feel like life is unfolding instead of I'm walking through it. I feel like the road is falling down in front of me, just like I always thought it would. And that's just such a beautiful thing. And I just feel like a lot of people in life don't do anything. And it's okay. I just want to say that no matter what you do get invested in, the purpose of life is just to strive, face resistance, and achieve. And so this is Sam the Dingus, and I just wanted to say, guys, I'm feeling so much love right now because I'm actually making my dreams come true. Canterbury is just having a killer year, and stay fearless, guys, because it really is in just a turn of the mind. Everything could be different for you. So just believe that change is possible, and know that if it seems like too big of a leap, then you're probably not taking small leaps often enough. I fucking love you. And happy Mousetrap Wednesday, whatever day it is. Once you break through fear, once you've made true mental progress, not by luck, but through determination, fear, it's like it never existed.